Gary, I'm going to say the rate at which you can talk and the type of metaphors and stuff you can put together, I think you could rap very well. I think.
Well, bro, now you're talking about something that is the great devastation of my life, of something that doesn't matter. I love hip hop rap so much.
Yeah.
I feel like I see what you're saying too.
Yeah.
Real rappers, like real guys and gals, say it to me, but there's a devastating last piece. The sheer lack of music ability I have in any shape.
We're on the same page there, bro. Me and you are on the same page. I somehow managed to.
In the shower, I'm like, no, this is gonna be like, literally this happened 6 months ago. I'm like, you know what? I used to be super out of shape and not healthy. It doesn't come natural to me. I hate it more than life. But over the last 8 years, I got a fucking babysitter trainer. I got educated of I got a little, and I worked it. I actually achieved something that doesn't come natural to me.
For sure.
So 9 months ago, I'm like, I'm gonna do that with rap. I don't have a musical fucking bone in my body. And so for a month in the shower, I'm literally trying to spit bars.
No.
I've got the bars. I just have no musical cadence at all.
Come on, man.
None.
You're a powerful man. We have to get you in. Jay-Z would gladly sit down with you. I mean, we have to get someone to work this out.
So you've got the bars though, you're saying. You have the lyrics.
Yeah, I know how to, I definitely know how to say shit.
Gary bars cannot live and die in the shower, man. They have to see the light of day. We have to get this out there. You've conquered a lot of things. If we could get,
I do need to win. Yeah, you're right.
If we get Polo G featuring Garyvee.
Oh my God, that would be
100 insane.
When Polo G was smart enough to sample Smooth Criminal, I literally said to myself, this guy's gonna be so uncomfortably famous. Just the understanding of how humans work, the range. I was like, oh, this is a different version of Drake, one that I really like. I fuck with Polo G heavy.
I do really like that song, the one with the
Me too.
Smooth
Because
Criminal.
listen, Alien Ant Farm had a fucking hit with it. It's fucking Smooth Criminal.
That's a good ass song. I actually like that. I like the Alien Ant Farm version more than the Michael Jackson version.
Yeah, the Alien Ant Farm version hit hard.
And that's just proof I have no musical talent.
All right, so we can sidebar this, but we definitely need to get Polo G, Alien Ant Farm, and Garyvee all on one track. I mean, that's just, that's my musical goal for the year.
Yeah.
I don't
Literally be the greatest day of my life.
Yeah, I don't have any strings to pull, so I'm going to rely on you to pull them, but you can make it happen. Well, you answered a lot of our questions already, because I feel like coming in, we weren't sure. We were like, man, does Gary hate us? What?
We really weren't sure what the context of this was, because you had sent that DM, so I was like, maybe he really hates us. I didn't even really consider that you might have just been blasting it out to everyone. Well, I thought it was damn.
You know what I do? When I have a post that I'm excited about, I'll just kind of go into my inbox and send it to 10 or 15 people and be like, it's kind of like a gut check of people that I think get it and see what they're, it's almost like I thought this was good. Did you think this was good? Kind of vibe. So that, cause we DM'd a couple days earlier, you were in that fucking range.
Yeah. Damn. You have 100 million hours of video footage of you from all these different talks and how long have you been filming yourself doing everything?
Somewhere around 20, what are we in 2022? I think in 17 or 18 or 16, I was you'll find this interesting of why I think this is so cool.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to live this life. You are literally going to have a conversation in 41 years with one of your grandkids around this exact video right now. And that is fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, it was both my grandfathers died before I got to meet them.
Yeah.
And my parents, who I adore, always they're only 20 years older than me. The old country in Russia, you had kids early. We're friends, not just they're my parents. Mm-hmm. And they give me they spit so much emotional game to me of man, you do this just like my dad did. They both lost their dads young.
Dang.
And it I think just weighed on me. And at some level, it kind of started with you know what? I have shit to say. I'm interested in this. I'm going to put this on wax, aka video, and like, it'll be cool. Like if God forbid something atrocious happens to me, or even if not, it'll be like fun to be like chilling. And like the grandkid runs in and be like, yo, was Cody's hair that nice? I was like, yeah, it was really nice. And so I think that humans right now underestimate what's happening because there isn't a generation for us to point to.
Yeah.
It's really fucking rad that you guys have this and you're going to chop it up with people in the future. So I like putting it on. It's like just having photos, right? Like my family didn't have a lot of photos because in Russia you didn't do that shit. And so like, I just lost all this family heritage. I kind of like that my life is filmed out. And I also like being right and wrong. I love the merit of the game. Like sure. I love the game so much. Like it's fun to be like, oh fuck, I was right about, like I secretly like wonder like, man, if NFTs don't win, I'm gonna have unlimited film to make fun of myself because I'm like all in, you know? So I think it also in a weird way by filming puts me in a position of accountability of being sharp. And then finally, you know, being known, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. Being known leads to business opportunities, right? Like I want to have business opportunities. It's my game. And the more I put out good shit, the more I'm right, the more that leads to people being like, fuck, this dude know what the fuck he's talking about. Maybe we should do business with him. And that, you know, that's my craft.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we probably will chop it up with our kids about you because, if an asteroid hits this Earth, the only footage we're going to have of humans is just going to be Gary. Like, we're going to lose everything else. We'll lose YouTube, we'll lose everything, but footage of Gary will definitely be around.
Yeah, it'll be on.
I got to admit, I do fuck with cockroaches. I think they're underrated. And so when I think that, you know, they always say like if a nuclear bomb comes, the cockroaches win. I'm like, I'm gonna be a fucking cockroach. Like, you know, so I think maybe that's what I'm doing.
Hell yeah, man.
This is gonna be probably a really boring question for everyone else, but for everyone listening right now. But my favorite podcast ever is How I Built This. And so when I listened to your episode, that was the first time that I really got that side of you where you were just kind of like, yeah, I like to be made fun of. And I got like the backstory with the wine and stuff like that. And I suggest everyone go listen to that because it was like one of my favorite episodes. But I want to know, is Guy Raz just like the absolute fucking man?
Dude, he's such a strong, like, you know, it was funny. You and like, this is back to like the way I put out content. So, you know, the way I put out content, no question, has baggage that comes along with it, which is in that format, it's incredibly difficult to show depth, right? And I'm incredibly
Are you talking
proud.
about like with TikToks and like...
Well, the TikTok, like the joke stuff's on a planet by itself, but even like the stuff that isn't like funny or like the meant to Gary, or like the funny analogies, like even just my business content in 45 seconds, you can only do so much damage.
Right,
really, it's an amuse bouche to try to get you to dig deeper and then go into the longer form. How I built this emails and they're like 3 hours. And I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm so like 15 minutes, 7-minute meet. Like I go hard and fast.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like 3 hours. And I kind of said no to myself and my team. I was like, you know, it's the one of the best, but I don't know if I've got 3 hours for it, right? There's too much going on. And then I kind of slept on it. I was like, yeah, I just like Guy a lot. His energy's so awesome. It is such a great show. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And in hindsight, it was a remarkably good thing because listen, no matter how much built you are to be able to deal with judgment and you don't give a fuck, every human cares. And, you know, even if you're good at taking jokes or you're good at people misunderstanding, and I'm really good at it. I just really am. It's how I'm built. That's my mom's doing. That's my growing up in the gutter doing. There's a lot that got me there. I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm really glad I did that show because I am flabbergasted by how many people have come up to me, emailed me, DM me and said, you know what? That podcast put the final T's and like there was things that were missing that I heard in there that give me a different point of view. And that's like, listen, it's nice. Like, why wouldn't you want somebody to think fondly of you versus you suck?
Yeah. Yeah. Damn.